5 things to consider before you make investing decisions. Number 1. Your current financial situation. The first step in making a decision is to assess your current financial situation. Before looking into investment opportunities, you should have a good understanding of your income, debts, assets, and expenses. It will give you a better idea of how much money you can afford to invest. Before making an investment decision, every investor, whether experienced or inexperienced, must first lay out a financial roadmap. To ensure that you are on the right track, the first step in making a successful investment is to understand your goals and objectives. You must determine whether you are investing correctly. With all of the past debt and outstanding credit card bills, now might not be the best time to invest. You must understand that the money you will put into this investment is for the long term and will not be available for withdrawal anytime soon. More importantly, there is no guarantee that your investment will profit you. As a result, create a financial roadmap to evaluate your assets and liabilities priorities, overall incomes, and ensure that your next investment will not affect your expenditures, insurances, or funds set aside for short-term emergencies. The financial situation of a company is frequently the most important factor in determining whether or not it can make an investment. Furthermore, most entrepreneurs must be aware that their personal funds may be used to fund their business ventures, particularly if the company is experiencing financial difficulties, which is why they must carefully analyze their own current financial situation. Before you begin investing, it is best to have a few $100,000 on hand. It is also important to consider how you handle cash flow if you run out of funds. It would also be beneficial if you considered your short-term and long-term financial objectives. Once you've determined your objectives, you can begin looking for investments that will help you achieve them. Number 2. The risks involved. Whatever you invest in, there will always be some level of risk. Typically, the greater the potential reward, the greater the risk. It is critical to be aware of all the risks associated with your venture and to have a clear mental picture of them whenever you make even the smallest decision. The best way to begin is to consider potential problems and then consider ways to mitigate them. What are the chances that the investment will not pay off? How likely is it that you will lose your entire investment? It is best to consider the risks associated with the investment. Investing in a new company, for example, is riskier than investing in an established one. Similarly, investing in a company that is experiencing financial difficulties is riskier than investing in a company that is experiencing financial success. It may be difficult at first to assess the risks, but you should gather as much information as possible. This can come from financial statements, industry reports, or even discussions with experts in the field. Number 3. Consider asset allocation. Always remember, never put all your eggs in a single basket. To ensure potential returns, it is critical to manage risks and avoid putting all of your money in the stock of 1 or 2 companies. Spread your investments across multiple sectors or asset classes instead to reduce the risk of suffering significant losses. For example, suppose you own stock in a company in the auto sector that suddenly loses value due to poor quarterly results or increases in crude prices that affect the entire auto sector, affecting the sale of the company. In such a case, you would suffer the significant losses that would take years or months to recover. However, there is a chance that you will not see a return on your investment. If that happens, all of your financial planning will fail, and you will be far from your financial goals that you hope to achieve by generating a corpus from that investment. However, if you allocate and strategize your investments to balance your risks and rewards by investing in different sectors or asset classes based on your time horizon, risk tolerance, and investment objectives, you can avoid starting from scratch and compensate one loss with profits from another. Number 4. The potential returns. The potential returns are one of the most important factors to consider when making an investment decision. How much money do you stand to make if your investment is successful? Is the risk worth it? Before making any decisions, it is critical to answer these questions. Because assets have predictable returns, each organization should set a target return rate and determine whether it is viable. Because this process can be quite complicated, it is best to seek professional assistance. When it comes to investing, keep in mind that there is no such thing as a sure thing. Even the safest investments are not without risk. As a result, it is critical to establish reasonable expectations for the potential returns of your investment. Number 5. The costs involved. Investing always has some costs. You may have to pay broker or advisor fees, for example. You may also be required to pay taxes on your profits. It is critical to include these costs in your decision-making process. When creating a budget for your project, you should consider all of the associated costs. Otherwise, the project may turn out to be more expensive than anticipated, resulting in serious financial difficulties in the future. To summarize, there are numerous things to keep in mind and factors to consider before making an investment. The best strategy is to take your time and thoroughly examine all available data. Investing is a complex process that can be difficult to navigate on your own. However, the benefits are well worth the effort. The investing world will never cease to amaze you.